All right, guys, thank you for joining Crypto Talk Now. We have a very special guest on. This guy's got a lot of energy, talks a lot about Saitama and a few other cryptos. Classy Crypto, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Larry. This is Crypto Talk Now. I'm very excited to be here. My name is Classy Crypto. I have like 9K subs on one channel, 6K on another one, 1K on another one. I got too many channels to count, but I'm very excited to be covering Saitama and talking to Larry, building up his channel. With that being said, let's get in the interview.
Okay, cool. Well, your channel's really been off to a really fast start. You haven't had your channel too long. How long have you been with the main channel?
Okay, it's what you think of as the main channel, because I was doing League of Legends content, hit Challenger over there, then I did my NFT content, but this channel, which would be called like the 16th channel at this point,
Okay.
I've had it for around, I think like a month and a half, something like that. I started covering Shiba content for like, I think 2 videos, and I went straight into Saitama afterward, and it's been Saitama since then, right?
Yeah, your channel is really blown up. You've got a lot of subscribers in a short period of time, so that's really good.
Right.
How did you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with crypto to start with?
Okay,
I think
so
I know the answer, but
no, you don't. You have no idea. Okay,
Okay.
so the real answer here, the real reason I got into cryptocurrency, so I was a consultant in the stock market for about a year before crypto. I actually changed my major from, software engineering to economics, and then I started doing a lot of that, right? And then I was like, wow, the macro picture, I should get into Forex. These are currencies. But then it's like, wait a minute, I could just do cryptocurrencies. The potential is a lot higher. So May had that crazy crash after the bull run, got into the bear market. Then my brother had like $16,000. He's like, hey, Classy, you do this for me and I'll make you money. And then I did it for a bit, made some money. But then he, something happened, unfortunately for him, and he YOLO'd all of his money into a 20x leverage on this like Waves token or something. So he lost all his money. His birthday comes around, and there's this NFT play to earn game called Axie Infinity. I go into Axie Infinity. That token's worth like $3, I think. And so it was like $700. We turned it into like 16K, and I learned a lot on my journey on that. That was the whole NFT play to earn thing with Classy. Then we stopped with NFT play to earn because it slowed down. We got into altcoins, got into Saitama, talked to a lot of people, and now we have Classy Crypto, right?
Cool. That is really good. I like the name of your channel, by the way. You seem like you keep everything classy, really upbeat.
Yeah, that's the goal, right? You have to keep things classy. Some people are like, I wonder how you look like without the suit. It's always a question.
So what made you start the YouTube channel, would you say? Was it the experience with Axie Infinity, or how did you get thinking, oh, you know what, I think I'm going to start the YouTube channel on crypto, let's say?
Right. So the goal in your origin story of, Classy Crypto was I was double P2P. I was a challenger player in League of Legends. It was this big game at the time. Nowadays, I mean, it's more NFT play to earn, right? But with League of Legends, I had double P2P. I was grinding, I think, since October until I think like February with my friend Crypto King. Yeah, I was about to say Classy King since we were doing something. But yeah, Crypto King was the name of his channel. He's still doing it, by the way. He's like 19K subs now. But we both transitioned into Axie Infinity after that whole crazy thing happened. And we pretty much, we got arriving to this whole situation where we want to do YouTube because we want to influence people. We saw just a lack of content creators. And you still see that today. You see a lot of saturation like Shiba Inu and other tokens. But in these more speculative tokens in the altcoin space, you don't see anything. You still don't see anything. And if you see something, it's like, this thing's going to hit 1 cent tomorrow. And here is why. And then I'm kind of like, okay, guys, I get it. I can have a little bit of clickbait, but let's just bring the news here and our opinions regarding it. Because then some people are like, okay, let's go on Reddit and read the Reddit comments as well. No. Okay, we keep it classy here. Keep the information relevant. And that's how Classy Crypto was formed, right?
Yeah, you got to keep it realistic. I know what you're saying. You don't want to just be like pie in the sky and everyone gets all excited and you're like,
right. And then, they lack expectations and everybody's like, wow, this didn't happen. That Classy guy said it. Let's go pitchfork him.
Let's go get him. So tell me, who is your favorite YouTuber as far as the crypto world, your crypto YouTube favorite?
Yeah, this is a really biased answer, I think. Like I said, I mean, going back into it, Crypto King was the guy that got me into Axie Infinity content creation. I was the guy that got him into League of Legends because I was challenged, But he got me into Axie Infinity. That guy's awesome. I mean, he makes Axie Infinity content pretty much every day. And everybody's still undervaluing the whole NFT play to earn thing. I still think that the Metaverse and all these crazy things that you're going to talk about later are going to be coming out. And I still think that, with State of City, with the Metaverse, with Wolfcaster, with all these things, it's also relevant to my NFT play to earn background. I have a lot of experience, right? $16,000 doesn't come out of nowhere, right?
So, yeah, for sure.
It was a whole debacle with breeding, and Crypto King was there with me the entire journey. So Very biased answer, but he's like my disciple.
Well, that's a good segue. Let's talk a little about Saitama, and then we'll get into Sata City later. But when
Okay.
do you think everybody and their brother wants to know when is Saitama going to be
Yeah.
released? What's your opinion on that? Do you have any information from the people that you run, in the circles of Saitama world? I
Right.
know maybe you might have talked to some of the developers like Russ or whatever, but what's your thought as to when they're going to release it?
Okay, so fortunately, first off, I'm not, like sponsored or anything, so I don't have direct connections with Saitama or anything.
Right.
But talking on the Saitama's topic, I mean, they've said a lot of things, right? They've talked about the KuCoin thing. They've talked about the top two exchanges coming. Now, I think all of these things are going to be coming after Saitama for obvious reasons, right? We don't want to release things preemptively. But I think it's probably going to come either late December or quarter 122. Like people are thinking that it's going to come next week or something, but with what's happening right now, with the fact that we have Thanksgiving coming, we have people off on weekends, I think it's a bit
Right.
unrealistic to expect it so soon, especially with the correction. We don't want to release it in the middle of a bear market either, right? It's like Axie
Yeah.
Infinity.
Yeah.
Those guys are waiting for, I think, 2 years for the bear market to finally stop to release all of their utility. Something important, the timing for everything. It's like I think like Gala Games coin also released, and it went from like 1 cent to 70 cents out of nowhere because they were in
I
the right
know.
place at the right time. So I think Saitama is probably going to be the same thing. These guys know it, right? They're not stupid with the marketing PR team. I know that they got that coming out. So probably waiting for all these catalysts to come forth, probably working on other utility as well. So we'll see when it comes out, but probably at the end of December, if I had to guess.
That's not a bad educated guess because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's going to come out in a couple weeks," but it looks like it was going to take a little more time. They're going through their audit and everything.
Yeah, the
And
certificate audit is taking forever. Oh my
it
God.
is. So the timing is interesting because the next question is going to be when do you think they're going to be on a major exchange, whether it's KuCoin or Crypto.com or Coinbase, whatever. But it's kind of like a conflict because you want people to be able to, if you're Saitama, you want people to be able to use Saitama to buy stuff on.
Right, it's
You
an
know,
exchange at the end of the day.
Yeah, so it might be competing with one of the major exchanges. So, what's your thought on when they might get onto a major exchange? When
Okay,
do you think that
so
might
we
happen?
know that Saitama right now has 260,000 holders. We know that we get, I think, like $20 million in volume a day. And I think at all-time highs, that number was like $150 million, I think. So speculating, pure speculation, I think that the whole Binance FUD thing is a sham. I don't think that any of that is real. I don't think they really care about us that much. I mean,
Yeah,
that exchange gets like $40 billion a day, so they really don't want a lawsuit with Saitama. But
right.
talking about when are we going to get listed in those exchanges? We know they're working with them. That's for certain. But like I said, we have to wait for Saitama. So more than likely, we're going to have to wait till next year to get any sort of top exchange on our belt, right?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think the State of Mass is going to come out first, and then it wouldn't really make sense to have it on a major exchange like around the same time as State of Mass. It kind of takes the thunder away from State of Mass. So
Right.
probably, like you said, sometime next year. So tell me your thoughts on Sata City, the metaverse. I had someone comment on my channel yesterday. I did a quick video on Sata City, and I don't know if they were too crazy about the way it looked. They said something about it being a template. I'm
Really?
like, this is probably a beta version, and they're just trying to tease you with what it might look like.
Oh,
And I'm
you mean
sure
that
that
video? You actually thought that was
yeah,
Sata City? Yeah, that's not Sata City. That's a rendered
no,
graphic, 100%.
yeah,
It's
that was just
supposed to
something that I
be.
grabbed off of Twitter. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I did that. Everybody did it. Okay,
you did the same
but
thing.
it
Yeah,
wasn't actually Sata City. It was just a rendered graphic of what Saitama and Sata City could be. It wasn't from the devs or anything.
it
What
was
Sata
somebody
City
like
is
a fan. A
actually going to
fan
be?
must have done it
Yeah,
or something. Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
It was from a
All
fan.
right.
Exactly. It was a Twitter post.
Well,
But
good. Okay.
actually looking into Sata City, it's a lot, right? It's a lot to digest. It has to do with Lily Finance. It has to do with VR. It has to do with shopping, apparently. Like we can do literally anything. Go outside, go for a walk. I guess I could probably hop on a treadmill, go into that metaverse with everything they've been saying, right? Look at apartments in VR. We kind of already have that, but I think it'll be a more, forefront implementation of that. Maybe a more realistic, like real-time POV. I wonder how they're going to do that. Maybe they can have like cameras on apartments. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But they're also supposed to do like doctor checkups. Like, how am I supposed to have a
Oh,
checkup
really?
in VR? Yeah, no, I heard that. I was like, how is that even supposed to happen? But if any of that actually happens, and I mean, they said it right, then we're going to have some crazy price movements. I mean, $2 billion for that much amount of tech. I mean, look at like tech companies. Some tech companies are valued ridiculously. Like Meta's trying to make their own metaverse. That thing's over $1 trillion.
Yeah.
So you could imagine the potential that Saitama could have if they go through with Sata City, which should be coming, I think, like late Q22. Like it has to be late 2022.
Yeah, I think that since Facebook, now called Meta, once they made their announcement that they're coming out with the metaverse, I think everybody and their brother was like, "Oh, we're going to be in the metaverse too." It's
Yeah,
like
and everybody
if
just
you're a
starts
coin,
mooning.
hey guys, we're doing the metaverse too, and then you say you're in the metaverse and your coin goes up. But I think
Exactly.
I think there are going to be some major players. I think Facebook, Meta, whatever you want to call it, be a major player. It'd be interesting to see if the other minor things like Saitama compared to or not Saitama, Sata City compared to Facebook or Meta. I mean, Facebook's got a lot of money behind them. Are they going to try to integrate with them? Are they going to try to compete with them? I think it's going to be more like trying to integrate with the major players like a Facebook. But what are your
Yeah,
thoughts
no,
on that? Is it
I
going to be like a
guarantee.
separate metaverse?
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
guarantee there's going to be separate metaverses here. I mean, we think
Okay.
about the fact that every major exchange at some point will probably have a metaverse where they do partnerships all over the place. I think it's just going to make it easier for things to be centralized, which, kind of funny how we're all decentralized, but everything's becoming centralized. But I do
Right.
think that Meta is going to be trying to get into the space a little too soon. Like it's just a race against time with Saitama and Sata City. We know that the devs from Saitama have said that Saitama isn't really for profit. It's just a platform for Sata City. So we don't expect anything crazy with the budgets. I do think that Meta is probably going to be coming out first, and trying to compete against them is kind of just like, I have my exchange. You want to get into my exchange, partner with my token and go into my metaverse. That's probably what's going to
Right.
happen. Because if we just go to Meta, then we lose all of our attention. We lose everything that we're working for.
Hmm.
So that's probably my thought regarding that.
So, lastly, what are your thoughts on the market overall? So today, the market, as you know, is down. Do you think we're still in this bull run? Are we going to continue into next year? What are your thoughts? Are we still in the bull run? And if we are still in the bull run, when is it going to end? What do you think
Okay.
about that?
So you think the altcoin leg? Okay, that's a really good question, actually. I didn't really think about that one too much. So the bull run. Okay, the bull run happened May. It died, but then it just revitalized right after. It was like a 50% correction. Some people would say it ended, but it didn't really end. We had a really big altcoin run up. I think after NFTs started dying, Shiba Inu started pumping like crazy. We got all these things, and now we have this Shiba Inu news about like Woofverse. I think it's this big game dev from like Activision and Blizzard or something like that is working for that. So I think we're more so relying on these meme tokens to continue to foster growth and attention, because we do realize the fact that these meme tokens, like for example, Saitama has 260,000 holders. Crow token, a really big token with a big market cap, only has 130,000 holders. So one would assume that more people came into cryptocurrencies off of Saitama versus other cryptocurrencies like Crow. So it's really dependent on these meme tokens to deliver. We can't have any more of those crazy rugs happening and,
Yeah.
making people, scared, because people are
Yeah.
scared right now. People are scared of Suzuki. I think like this JC token, all these other tokens are coming. And SatoMask has to be able to reassure its investors that we're going to be vetting harder. We're going to be vetting safer. It's going to be a safe place to go. And if all these things happen, if Shiba does this, if everybody's okay, and if Bitcoin doesn't get banned in China another 3 times, then I think the bull run will be fine at least until the end of 2021. I do think we're probably going to have a correction Q1, but it's crypto, right? It just comes right
Yeah.
back up. And I think that actually the bear markets are lasting less than they were back then. I do think that because of mass adoption and because more people are in crypto now, that things come up a lot faster than they used to. Now, we used to have bear markets for 2 years. Now we don't even know what bear markets are half the time.
Right. Yeah, I think that this was the year of the meme coin, and I think next year is going to be the year of the metaverse. So
Yeah, for sure.
some of these meme coins that are transitioning over, I think, are smart into the metaverse, or at least have some type of application for the metaverse is going to be really good. And then just the straight up gaming. I mean, you probably know more about gaming than I do, but the straight
Right.
up games that are already pushing towards the metaverse, I think are going to do really well. So some of these meme coins might not make it, but I said, I think the smart ones that transition into more of a metaverse or real world utility, like, Shiba Inu and stuff like that. And of course, Saitama are doing, I think are going to be here for a long time.
So I think it's an interesting take, though, that whole thing about the meme token. I was talking to Crypto King like 2 nights ago about it, and we
Mhm.
were talking about, do we think meme tokens are dead next year? Or do we think we have more time here? Now, I think if we have that correction in Q1 2022, it's going to buy a lot of time for these meme tokens to really get back and grasp their audience back. Because the second that the bull market happens, everybody starts forgetting about what happened in quarter 4 of 2021, and a lot of that growth for meme tokens might have more room than people really speculated to have. And I do think that the age of the metaverse is coming. We're probably going to have 16,000 rugs of metaverse tokens supposedly coming out next year.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really interesting to see as well. But I think talking about, you know, the future of classy crypto, the future of a lot of influencers here, I mean, we have to talk about the fact that there's a huge shortage. There's a huge shortage of content creation. Everybody that's in here right now is an early bird. You know, I mean, you guys think that just because we're in the cusp of mass adoption, I mean, I think, what's the total market cap of crypto? Like 2.6 trillion. Have you seen the stock market? That thing's over at like $90 trillion. So
yeah,
we haven't even started. Yeah, we haven't even started.
We're only around 4% worldwide of adoption. So we're like really
and
early.
That's people
Everybody
buying like
watching
$1.
this is early. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can imagine how much potential there is. And I think this is like going to be insane a year from now, looking back into this video and looking back into Larry's channel when he's hit like 16 million subscribers off of the 3 quadrillion people that were born out of nowhere into cryptocurrencies.
That's after you've hit 100 million. When you hit 100 million, I'll hit 16 million.
Yeah. You know what? I'll give you a few of them. But yeah, no, I think that's probably the goal with Classy. It's the goal with Classy Crypto. It's the goal with everything. It's grinding out that content. It's the shortage. Everybody needs to be informed. Everybody has to do their part, including you, Larry, including everybody. It's not just me. You know, Classy Crypto does his part, but I'm sure that you guys have had 30 million x more, you know, impact than I have. So it's all of our jobs to be able to put forth mass adoption for crypto, right? I mean, I just own a Saitama shirt. That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
And I just talked to people in the middle of the street about Saitama out of nowhere. People have no idea. So there's definitely a lot of untapped market for Saitama, for crypto in general. And that's pretty much it, right? That's you, Larry, right? You realize it too. Everybody realizes it.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Classy Crypto. If you guys want to check out Classy Crypto's channel, go ahead and do so. The links are going to be in the description. We thank you so much, Classy, for joining us. And hopefully you can come back real soon and talk to us.
Of course, it was a pleasure to be alongside you, Larry. I mean, hopefully when you grow, you have me again, right?
It sounds good.
Maybe I'll have you too.
All right. Yeah, that would love to come on. All right. Well, you enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thank you, man.